Film will never be a dead format.
16mm, you can actually, just by looking at it, you understand the principle of films. You shine an intense light through it. The image is projected up onto the screen.
You realise that what you're looking at is a series of literally tens of thousands of photographs. It's a sanctimonious space. I mean, next to being in a church, it is really the only time people are truly going to focus on your art. But when you lower the lights down, you click that projector on, you've got them.
It's go time. This is our home, yes. The screenings, actually, we started doing at Chippendale when we were living in Chippendale in sort of like the mid-90s. So what we did there is, like, on a Sunday night, anybody off the street could just come into our lounge room. We had like a shop front place.
Open it up for the public.
We would just open the doors and watch whatever was on. There was always a film on Sunday night.
Usually was what we'd just
whatever
found
we'd purchased.
or purchased.
Well, whatever we'd purchased that week,
we would
that
share
would
it
be
with the
film.
public.
Oh my Lord, let's just rewind that film and where to next? I mean, where can you go after that?
There's no point in having this stuff if you're not watching it. And then there's no point in just watching it yourself. You want the shared experience with a whole bunch of people. So you put the word out and say, you know, we're going to watch this film that's come in. It's going to be a hoot. Come along, share it, you know. And people would.
To us, it's not just projecting that film, but it's also that social experience.
It's totally the social experience.
So
it's almost like a communing with people, you know, and then sitting back and discussing it, having a laugh over something. And watch this.
Whoa!
Oh, the dam's about to break. You know, the dam is about to break, man. Thank God they're really quick. Whoa!
You know, these nights we've been doing at the Vanguard, we were actually screening films like a film matinee in the 60s or 70s.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this properly. My name's Jay Katz, and that's my wife, Miss Death, on the 16mm Xenon Arc. The last Tuesday of every month here in the beautiful Vanguard, we present 16mm cult cinema, the way cinema should be seen on film itself.
Half the audience is unaware of what film looks like running through a projector. This way we've got the projector making sound behind them.
I don't think I've actually seen any other film like this. As far as I'm concerned, it's true cult. By the end of it, you won't know who you are, where you are, and what the hell you're doing watching it.
A film was made to be seen on the big screen, and you're not actually seeing the film the way it's meant to be, you know, in its proper environment. So watching it on a phone is just like, that's blasphemy to me. I mean, truly.
I'll tell you a great example for both of us is actually the live television feed of the 1969 moon landing. Now, both of us had experiences where we're sitting like in the assembly hall with maybe 500-600 other youngsters trying to watch a 23-inch black and white TV set on a stage. So, I mean, we might as well have been just looking up to the sky in terms of our focus on that. And I remember it wasn't until a year later that the film Footprints on the Footsteps on the Moon came out, and I went and saw it in the cinema, that I actually felt I'd witnessed the moon landing. Now, all these years later, I'm not sure I actually witnessed that, or whether that was a trick of light and shadow of filmmaking, you know. But anyway.
Don't go there.
We were sold a bit of deception when it came to digital storage. And people are beginning to realise now that CDs and DVDs are not these unbreakable objects that will live an infinite life. We have still films here in this building that were filmed over 100 years ago. They're nitrate. We could blow up. We've proven here that you can actually store film in without air conditioning, temperature control, under a hot tin roof, and it still survives okay. One of the reasons why we got excited about collecting film itself, and especially 16mm, was the fact that there's an enormous underground of collectors out there. It's astounding just how much of cinema you can actually preserve. In a sense, it's latter-day archaeology of film that we're doing.
I want to see some stranger danger films. Have we got any stranger danger?
The stop motion one.
Susie wears blue shoes. Or never ever go with somebody you don't know. Pretty much some sort of...
Kids love running.
Muff the dog. Muff the dog. There will be a lot of stuff that was filmed on 16mm for a specific purpose, which was educational films to be shown in classrooms and, you know, teaching aids and stuff like that, that were specifically done for that period and for that medium that aren't going to be done now. And so unless there's avid collectors out there that are saving them and quirky people that are putting packages together, a lot of this stuff is going to disappear. We're never going to see it again.
I've collected since I was a teenager, and when I met my wife Asper here, we were both diversional therapists, and we didn't realise we had that same passion.
Madness.
But I
sickness.
ignited the flame in my wife, and I think for the last 20 or so years, you've been the most
been
avid
the
collector, searcher for 16mm.
Yeah.
There's some amazing moments in that digital medium, but it doesn't mean that we should forget where film came from. We will always have our heart deeply ensconced in that notion of film. I'm sure Quentin Tarantino would know what we're talking about, you know.
As I said, we're going to do it in 2 sections. There's 2 reels, so we will have a break in the middle. Don't forget those people in the middle. The lamp is coming right over the top of you. No back projection with film. So if you do get up, bend at the knees and stay low to avoid becoming part of this film. Once you see this film, you'll realise you don't want to be part of it.
Just the very applause of our land and the many interpretation of the laws.
Okay, let's do it, Ms. Deb.
A lot of people, a lot of film critics believe we're actually liberating complete trash when it comes to cinema and giving it, you know, a celebration by screening it. But we also see those moments to do with B to Z grade films as very empowering. They demystify the whole notion of the cinema and the viewer, and they also make you realise that this medium of film, which is probably the most expensive canvas for any artist to paint on, is actually something that if you put your heart to, no matter where your finances lie or your funding, you can achieve under the worst circumstances and still come up with a result that's entertaining and inspiring or whatever.
Or that connects with someone.
Yes.
I mean, it mightn't connect with a whole bunch of people, but every film has, you know, has got some audience out there for it.